But now at this point you can go through here and be like, okay, I'm going to take this here, this little divot here, I'm going to unmask, and then I'm just going to like mask this in, and then go to Unmask Mesh Center, hold down Alt, and then pull this in, and maybe scoot this, let's scoot this back here, and then pull this side in like this. So already you can go through here and you can clip the stuff out, you can divide these things out, you can go through here and be like, oh, I want a little recess in here, so you can mask this in. So you can do a lot of work just with like sculpting, like we were saying with the belt. You know, how would you want to sculpt this thing? And you hold down Control. You can hold down Control and blur, or Control Alt and sharpen it up, and then you can go through here and like clean up with your mask. So I would never tell you you have to do this method in ZBrush. Do whatever you want, man. Let's see, blur, turn up this resolution here. So we can just Dynamesh this thing now. So now this thing is completely Dynameshed. We still have our polypaint on here. If you Dynamesh with your polypaint off, it'll get rid of it. If you have your polypaint on when you Dynamesh, it'll hold it. We go down there into Shift. I'm going to go to Smooth Stronger. You can just kind of smooth this out. Now, if you want to smooth your mesh but not your polypaint, hold down Shift and turn off RGB. And now you can just smooth out your model without that. So now we can go through here. Oh, this is so much fun. We can just go ahead and mask this trigger out. And we can hold down Control, go into Mask Lasso, invert that mask, maybe sharpen up a little bit. Hold down Alt, go to Unmask Mesh Center, and then just, because we know triggers are pretty thin, right? There you go. Now we have a little thin trigger in here. So already, if we go into solo mode, turn off polypaint, we're already starting to kind of dial in how our weapon's going to look here. Also in this part here, let's go back to mask pin. You can start blocking in this shape here. If we know it's going to be, Control tap to invert that. If we know it's going to be thinner right here, let's go ahead and turn on X symmetry, and then we can just clip these things back. Or we could probably, even what's probably going to be more accurate is like maybe clip it to an angle. Kind of clip that in, and then, or you know, if we wanted this to be beveled out, we could just protect it, and then go through here and clip it in. So start dialing in your shapes like that. Super cool, super fun. And if you wanted to completely replace something, what I might do is I can go in here and hit Control W, make this all in polygroup. So what I'm going to do is go through here. I'm going to do Slice Curve, and we're going to, I want to turn on Polyframe. Let's turn off Line. There we go. So we've got this Dynamesh here. And let's say I want to cut out this thing because I'm going to replace it with with a cylinder, right? So I want to keep Dynameshing and figuring this stuff out, but I want to get rid of this chunk right here. To do a nice clean cut, you could do a Dynamesh. Probably would be easier is just to, okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and insert cube. I have a custom cube here for my custom brushes, but you can just do brush BI, what we did earlier, brush insert primitives. I don't know what I hit there. We can just pop a cube on here, and then with this cube we can do a subtractive mesh. We can go through here and just like cut this whole piece out like that. We'll do that first. So now at this one, you're going to see we have polyframe turned on. Let's go ahead. And we want to keep our polypaint on, but this one we want to make a subtractive mesh. Now I can split this off, hit this little icon, make a subtractive, merge it down, and do that. I can also go down here to my polygroup menu and do group as Dynamesh sub, control drag, and that'll go ahead and just cut that piece out. And then if you need to do a little bit of cleanup work, you can go through here and just like clean this up. So now we've got a Dynamesh working mesh, and then you can start dictating like little easy pieces to go and change. And we've already kind of done this. If we go to solo mode here, let's go ahead and match this with the size we're working at. And while we're Z-modelering, if you want to use this mesh instead of, you know, using your image, by all means. There's, again, I'm not going to tell you one way to do it. Whatever's easier for you. So there we go. So now we go to transparency mode. You're going to see, okay, we've replaced that one piece here. And let's go ahead and just do like a crease tolerance here in dynamic. Actually, a crease tolerance isn't going to work that well. We'll turn line back on. I'm going to do a crease edge loop complete here, 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 and here. Now when I hit D, we'll get nice smooth lines. And then I can go turn this back on. And let's turn these off. So again, another slight tangent, but again, use everything at ZBrush at your disposal. Whatever you think works best for you, you can go through here and start doing this. Now the cool thing about this is if I have a handle over here and I just break this thing off, then I want to rebuild it and make it a nice sub D, which is kind of what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and hold down Shift. So if you have all your subtools turned on and you just want to isolate maybe these bottom two, hold down Shift, touch the eyeball, that'll turn everything off. Touch this little nameplate, touch that eyeball, and now you're working with those two subtools. But we just wanted to work with that one. So little subtool organization 101.